Alright, let's try it in share screen. AFL Fantasy. Yeah, there we go. Should work. Alright, now let's make sure that I am on. We got one person in. Alright, so Tim is away sick this week, unfortunately. I also was away in hospital on last week as well too. You can see here, still got bruised here pretty badly. I was on the drip for a bit, so 3 days couldn't drink water, which was pretty crazy. It's that time of the year, and just as we lead up to fantasy as well too, so not the ideal start, but we managed to get there. So I've just posted the link to everyone, so hopefully they can see this. Um, all right, let me just add Thomas to here. Everyone's trying to ask me to add people, so I'm just going to add him as well. In the meantime, I'm going to confirm him, add him to the chats as well too. Tim also said he's a bit sick, so he's showing up as well too. So normally he's on as well too, but he can't make it either. So um, Thomas. So do people message me? G'day guys, welcome aboard. I'm just adding people to the thing. Here you go on pod now. G'day guys, welcome aboard. Let us know how you went as well too. I'm just setting up all the links here. Um, uh, there you go, perfect. All right, here you go. Almost. All right, sweet. Let's go back to our fantasy. All right, perfect. We have got one person in. Welcome aboard, guys. As I say, I was away sick last week, but here we are. New year, new fantasy. Obviously, not much to talk about Brisbane Lions this week because they have the bye. Thankfully, they won't lose, but obviously, they had a few out from injuries as well too, as well as suspensions. Ironically, Norton punched Gardner off the ball 3 times and didn't get suspended either. So, yeah, Gardner was the one that got suspended. So they definitely don't want Brisbane to win again, but definitely good to be back to back at least. So that's something to hang our hats on. But yeah, there is no football for Brisbane this weekend, so no catch ups in Perth. I was going to do a catch up last week, but end up in hospital, as I say. So we will have to do a catch up in round 2 for round 3. But so this show is going to be more about fantasy this week, obviously, because obviously we know what happened with the Brisbane Lions and they have the week off. So next week also will probably be more fantasy based as well too, considering Brisbane will have the bye and they would have played no one. So they did well in the second half, obviously, with a VFL side. So that was not too bad in the end. But let's talk a bit about our fantasy and then maybe we can talk about our functions as well too. Also, don't forget to join our code while you're at it. So our code is capital A, capital number 4, capital number 9, capital F, C, V, S, B. So that is our code. Hopefully you can just hear me. Yep. Yep, that's coming through the system. Sweet. All right, perfect. Now that is our code. You can also check out the code underneath as well in the descriptions. Let's have a look at the team, how we went. I was actually pretty happy. I was just a bit spewing though. I could have been top 100 because you'll notice I end up looping 90 and I had Jake's on the bench for 112 and I couldn't do a thing. So he's there sitting there. Look at that, 112. He's sitting there. But I managed to make sure I nailed all the rookies. I'm pretty happy with all the rookies I got. One rookie I had to get out was Murdoch, so I was a bit annoyed because I had to loop McRae. But McRae I put in because he should get some game time soon as well too. So that is good. I managed to field Robertson because of he's been playing well in the VFL last. Let's go through the defense let's go the other way. Let's go defense, mid, then forward. That's a good idea. All right. Also, by the way, Tim also is a bit sick this week, so he won't be joining us. But I will have a round 2 preview as well too, talking through the games coming up and also some players to look out for as well too. So I'm planning to look forward to in this little thing. If you have any questions, as I say, ask away. All right. So our defense, we've got Sinclair, Rosie, Houston, Blackiston, Lindsay, Fonte, Sarong. Fonte is a bit of my pod. This is last week's score, so the prices will change. So so as you can see, 2186, 269. So top 2000 is not too bad. Happy with that. Could have been a lot worse. And Jake's on the bench here, 112. Blackiston, 147. So I thought I would put him as emergency because he played Friday night, just in case he was going to score well. But looked like he didn't score well in the end, so I kind of avoided his 47. So I managed to get a 59 instead of that, but still Jake's gone 12. So he smashed it against GWS. Bulldogs actually smashed it altogether, so they had pretty high scoring, that's for sure. So that is our defense here. GWS has got the best fixture out of everyone because in the early buys they got their standalone buy with St Kilda, and in the mid-season buys they got Richmond as well too. So they got Richmond um, as well as themselves. So pretty much out of all the teams you want, is probably GWS is probably the best. So Fonte, his ownership has probably gone up now, 5% now. It started at 4%. So it looks like 590 people jumped in on him. His break even's 18. He's gone up 46. He's projected to go up 46,000. He has gone up. Last week he was at 521. He's at 604. So he's gone up about $80,000. So it's pretty good. He jumped up a bit. He's a unique. It was a bit of a frustrating watch in the first half, though. It was a bit quiet, but the second half they kept kicking it to him. He's kind of was doing like the halfback role, and there was one stage where he got like about 30 points in like 5 minutes, which was pretty crazy when they're doing their chip kicks. But so he's probably not a long-term plan. He's probably going to be traded out in the next week or two, most likely though. But he's going to make his cash, just like same with Houston as well. I was going to plan on trading him out, but I can't now because he's gone up 701. He's gone up $116,000, and his break even is 21. He's going to should be projected to change even more. I don't know why it doesn't. Silly site says 0, but you'll see upcoming fixtures. So yeah, he's going to be projected to change $61,000 here. So he's going to go up another. He's probably going to at least go up another $100,000, and he definitely not a one-hit wonder, but for sure 120, 119. So almost got the same score as he did last week. So that's actually pretty decent. And Lindsay, he started slow in the last quarter. He got like a 30-point quarter. That was all right from him. Break even of 1, so he's still going to make money. Jake's his break even is -47. He's going up. Sarong break even -6. He's going up as well too. All right, now let's have a look at the midfield. I made sure to have no primo mids that have a bye coming up. I didn't like Steele. Steele was my last minute pick on the day. I was tossing up between him and Rindhager. I just wanted the security of not having a bye coming up. So it's pretty much, so you're kind of guaranteed, or you're kind of safe to have a 90 to 100, 110 or so, instead of having, like, for example, a bye, which would be 0. I had Blommaers. The last minute I changed it to Watkins. I don't know why I did that, but silly move. But anyway, still got 47. Grilch was on the Thursday night. I put him on my bench just in case he was going to suck, but he actually scored well. He got 90. So I decided to loop him with McRae. I made sure to look at all the emergencies I got, though, by the way. So I had Blackiston, Grilch, and Gothard as emergencies, 6-7. So he got the first 6-7. Good job. All right. He did all right. And McAndrew 71. So out of all my emergencies, Grilch got the highest. So that's why I looped, because you'll see my captain was English. I was supposed to be Merritt. I ran out of time to put Merritt. He was going to put him vice captain. 112 would have been good. But 121 is even better. Lucky with that. And then so I looped that with Finlay McRae. McRae should get game time at the Eagles. He was named as emergency last weekend, so he should play throughout the year. I just didn't want a red dot on the ruckman because I didn't want to be mucking around the rucks this year. So I changed a little bit. because on my preview the other week I had Vincentini here, but I've changed him up to Zeri. Yeah, I know Zeri might not go as well as he in the past, but I'd rather have some set and forget ruck, so I don't have to worry about it. I probably would have won Jackson. Jackson would have been a much better pick to get. However, Jackson already played, so it was a bit too late for me to get Jackson because he already played during the day on Saturday. All right, so in the midfield this week, I've only got Houston, Bruin, and Smith out. I don't have Goulden. A lot of people have Goulden who got injured against Brisbane, so a lot of people will be looking at trying to trade in the player. Most people some people were wanting to wait for Goulden, but wait for a week to trade him to get to day cost. But for me, I would rather get him to a non-buy player. So if I was in your shoes, because there's 55% have Goulden. If they have Goulden, then I would trade him to a non-buy player, just because you don't want to get stuck with a 0, or you will get at least you'll get say a 90 to 100 at least. You'd rather have that than nothing. Plus, you may get another injury as well too. My forward line did all right. I was pretty happy because my boy Robertson, he loves a tackle in a VFL. He did all right in the Queen and for Brisbane Lions and as well too. But he would never get a game. But he always loves a bit of a tackle in that. He got 12 tackles. That got him up to 104, which was pretty awesome. And he was playing in the midfield as well too. So there's no brainer to put him on the field. A few people sort of put Lombard over instead of Robertson. So I had a bit of a win there myself. But a lot of people wanted Lombard to smash it against West Coast, but I tried to tell a few that no, he'll be playing midfield, so I was pretty happy with that. Shizu 118, not bad. Flanders, Matraka, Buderick, oh, he was a slow watch. He was very slow in the first half. He was on 21. I was like, what's going on here? And then he came back strong in the second half. So same with English actually too. Normally I don't own English. I usually go for another ruck. But I went English this year, and he started real slow as well too. And he was on 77 that third quarter, and then he came home with a huge last quarter. So thankfully, I was stressing out a little bit. And McKerney, he was another one as well, a bit interesting. He was down for a bit, then he was up, then he had a midfield role, he was down the forward line. So it's gonna be when we get to our trades, I'm thinking of trying to trade him out because he's break even 64 now. He's got a buy coming up, and I just want to get I want to be able to get maybe McRae down here, so that way I can at least maybe play one of these rookies on the field, and then I can get him to Stevens. That's probably what I'm thinking of, but I'll touch on that later. And then in my utility, I had Lombard. So Lombard's got low break even. So now let's swing over to round 2. It will say 0 points. There we go, 0, because round 2 hasn't started yet, but it's updated. So I went from 18.1 million team value to 19.6 million with 100,000 in the bench. So pretty much, I'd say it's about 19.7 and a half, something like that, 19.7 million. So it's not too bad, even though I did get one donut here, obviously. But all my players, apart from Rosie, Butters, LDU, Zeri, and English all went up. So all green dots everywhere else. So I had only 5 players went down. So not bad. Oh, Steele went down. So yeah, about 5 to 6 players went down. All the rest went up. So at least my money is on the right track. Blackiston, I'm looking at trading, but he's got Podlade this week. However, he's got a break even of 32. I would probably hold maybe this week, but look at this. He's got Zeri, he's got Dogs, which is English, then he's got Gorn, which is Melbourne, Wits, which is Suns, and Collingwood, which is Cameron. So it's going to be a pretty tough run for him, actually. So I don't know why I got him, but anyway, I think he got a bit talked up a bit, that's for sure. Now, let's have a look. Let's go through our the fixtures and for round 2, and let's talk a bit about I've got the article here. Let me get the article up. All right, so let's have a look at the standout players. Let's talk about our standout players for this coming week, and then we can also talk a bit about our trades as well, too, and maybe some low break evens. So a few different things. Also, if you have any questions, make sure you check in as well, too. All right, so round 2 standout players. So Thursday, I'm going to be stuck at work. I'll be back at work. It'd be nice to be working because I had to take a whole week off work last week because of being sick in the hospital. So that wasn't good. So I like work. It gives me something to do, which is good rather than being stuck in the hospital sick. All right, so let's go to Hawthorn and Sydney. So as I say, I'm finishing work 5:30 in WA, and the game starts at 4:30. So I won't be able to check my team, unfortunately. But Hawthorn versus Sydney, Newcombe 0 tons out of 4 versus the Swans average of 92. So I don't think anyone really has many Hawthorn players out there because of their early bye. Sick Dog, 3 tons out of 10 games, average of 76 against Sydney. And Grundy only 2 scores above 106 in 11 games versus Hawks, average of 84. So they don't really score that well against each other. So it's not really much of a going to be a bit of a tough scoring game, that's for sure, this weekend on Thursday. That's why I'm leaning towards trading McKerney, but I'll talk about my trades soon once we've done all that. So Friday night, Adelaide versus Bulldogs. Dawson scored 3 tons out of 7 out of 7 games versus Dogs, 89 average. We've also got English, 103 averages, 3 out of 6 tons, so he does not too bad. He'll be going up against McAndrew most likely. That's another thing I wanted to do. Make sure with McAndrew, a lot of people went McAndrew ruck too. I just wanted to set and forget because playing with your rucks all year round can be annoying. But that's why I did that. And Bont averages 110, 6 of 11 games, tons, with 5 scores above 122, which is pretty good. So Bont actually likes Adelaide. The only thing I would have got Bontempelli, but I didn't get Bontempelli because I got English. That was the only counter side of things, and I need to get rid of. I'd rather have more chance to score than have too many buy players and have to get stuck at trading because those people with Goulden this week, that I'm sure they would have a few buy players. I saw one team in the top 10 and they got about 9 players out this week plus Goulden, so that's going to be quite hard for them. So it's going to be a lot of changes this week. So Bont, standout player in that game on Friday. Saturday, Richmond versus Gold Coast. Anderson averages 116 against the Tigers, 5 of 7 tons out of 7 games, 5 scores, 110 or above, which is pretty crazy. Petraka averages only 84, only 4 out of 11 tons against Tigers. So it's interesting. Petraka does a lot of crazy things, but he doesn't really score as high to what he would do, if that makes sense. What you think about it, yeah. All right, so that's Saturday. Richmond, next Saturday, this game, Judas versus St Kilda. We have got Sinclair averages 79, 4 out of 13 tons. Windhager averages 78, 0 out of 4 tons. And looks like he went back to his tagging role the other day as well, too. So, yeah, maybe it was a good idea not to go Windhager in the end. Whitfield, 5 out of 13 tons, averages of 86 against Saints. But we know, obviously, the first couple of weeks, teams that were playing St Kilda seem to be scoring all right because they're doing the chip kick things. All right, Fremantle versus Melbourne. Sarong averages 92 versus Melbourne with 3 out of 8 tons. Jack Steele averages 94, 7 out of 14 tons versus Freo. Jack Steele, he's another one on my watch list to trade maybe if I had nothing else to do, because he was on 48 third quarter, then he finished on with 85 in the last quarter. So he pretty much doubled his score in the last quarter, which I don't know how on earth he did that, but I don't know what. A lot of people said he's going to do well, but yeah. Gorn averages 93, 7 out of 14 tons. That's for Max Gorn there in the ruck there, but he's going to be obviously up against Jackson, so he's going on fire, that Jackson guy. All right, and obviously with the buys, there's only 2 games on Sunday. Port Adelaide versus Essendon. We have got Butters, averages of 96, 5 out of 7 tons. But if you take out the 34 out that he played against the Bombers early on, then his lowest is 92 of 6 games. So it's not too bad if you take out the 34 that he got against Essendon. Rosie, 108 average, 5 out of 8 tons. So that's Rosie there. So actually does all right. And this is my boy, my favourite player from Essendon there. Merritt, highest averages of all teams is against Port Adelaide. He's got 114 average. He's got 12 tons out of 15. Lowest score of 86 out of 15 games he's played poor. His lowest score is 86. He's had 9 scores above 113. And he's had quite actually. Let me have a look at here as well too. I'm looking at his profile here now, and he's had like 151. He had 128. He had 135. Yeah, won 15 games and his lowest score is 86. So if you take out his 86 out of 14 games, his lowest score is 97. So if you have him in draft or whatever, I would make sure or draft or classic or something like that, you could put the captain on him as well too. Just his past history alone. Yeah, he's got a bit of a new role here and there, but it hasn't really stopped him because if you look at his averages, I made a little stat here as well too, because the people are looking at, I'll get through this game, next one first, and then I'll do this. All right. So I'm jumping around here. I'll get to the trade-ins in a minute. West Coast versus North Melbourne. This is our final game on Sunday. Sheasel, 4 out of 5 tons, averages 112, lowest score of 98 versus the West Coast Eagles. So he should do all right. And Zeri averages 93, 3 of 7 tons. There's not really many other standout players you could probably think of. Obviously, Stevens in the past has averaged probably about 60 to 80, but his role on the weekend was amazing, and he did everything, which was crazy. He got 135 or so, and he smashed it. He was everywhere. So the next 5 weeks looks amazing for North Melbourne. If you look at their fixture, let's have a look. Let's go to on LDU. Let's have a look at this fixture because he also plays. I was either going to do LDU or what's his name? Stevens, but I went for LDU instead. So he's got West Coast, Essendon, Carlton, Brisbane, and Richmond. So in the first 6 weeks, he plays pretty much 4 more bottom 6 sides, not including Brisbane. I don't see them as a bottom 6 side after winning 2 premierships. I can't say they're bottom 6 at all. But yeah, all the others are pretty much bottom 6 teams. So yeah, North Melbourne have a great fixture. That's why I wanted to have a few North Melbourne players. That's why I also got Doverson in as well too, because at least he's got West Coast this week, so that should be all right. Now, what I was looking at earlier today is where was the message? I posted it here. Oh yeah, here we go. In the past, all right. So someone was asking about Sarong and Merritt. So the difference in the past 10 seasons, Merritt has averaged 101 or more 9 times, with one season in 2020 at 93. So if you uninclude that 2020 season, he's averaged 100 or 101 or above in every season. Sarong has averaged 100 twice out of 6 seasons. I find that Merritt usually does well when he's unique, obviously, but if he gets popular, then I know he finds a bit of pressure on him. But that's just my theory. But yeah, so for those that are getting rid of Goulden, I would get rid of him this week. Tim was asking me as well too. He had a question. Unfortunately, he's sick today, but he'll be on the pod next week. But he was asking as well. He wanted to trade at Gallup first over Goulden. Gallup's not our best 22, so he won't get a game, but he's not playing this week, so he won't lose cash. However, Goulden, he's going to be out for 4 months, so I'd rather trade Goulden this week to a non-buy player, so you can at least get 100 points there. Then you can aim to get another player coming off the buy next week. And I think there's also some other people trying to do the same thing. However, I would rather, as I say, get a non-buy player this week, bite the bullet, because you don't want to have a 0, and Goulden is going to be a trade out next week. And what happens if you get 2 more injuries this week? That means you're going to have to trade 3 players out, but you can't because you only got 2 players. And you still got to trade your buy players on top of that. So, because next week's going to be a tough buy. It's going to be Sydney, Gold Coast, Bulldogs, and one other player, Hawthorn. So my trades I'm looking at. Yes, McKerney scored quite well. He plays Thursday. I don't like trading people on Thursdays. He's got Hawthorn, Heaney, and Goulden are out. He's got Eagles coming up. and he does have sons and Judaress and dogs coming out in Melbourne. So he's got Eagles. That's a nice one here, the Eagles. However, some players on the low break even, if I search up break even, let's see, for example, Stevens, he got a break even at 18. He's got West Coast this week. He's got those 4 great teams coming up out of the next 5 weeks. So I'm tempted to go McOney to Stevens, and then I'm going to most likely go McRae. Or if McRae gets named this week, I could go someone else, like a Blackiston. I don't really want to get rid of Blackiston this week, but I'd rather get rid of him next week. And I'll probably get in another low break even. So let's look at our low break evens. So let's search up. I don't like this new site. It's frustrating because it doesn't really show projected stuff half the time. And let's go back. Let's go search break evens, Siri. All right, so let's go to the lowest break even. So the lowest break evens this week, to some trade targets as well too. You got Murdoch, negative 26. Blamires, negative 14. Don't need to get. I don't have any Brisbane players anyway. Because the thing is, looking at the fully list team for Brisbane Lions, I don't see Gallup as our best 22. And let me read out my best 22 for the Lions, so that may help as well too. So there's a few people that jumped off Gallup, so that was good to see. Here's my Brisbane Lions team if fully fit. So I've got in the back line, I've got Lester, Payne, Ainsworth, halfback Coleman, Andrews, Fletcher, centre Berry, McCluggage, Ashcroft, half forward Bailey, Allen, Lohman, Ford, Rayner, Morris, Cameron, following Fort, Dunkley, Neal, bench Hitwood, Zorko, Ashcroft, Wilmot, Gardner, and then you swap around with Draper, Gardner, Gallup, and McCarthy. So, as I say, I wouldn't be touching any Brisbane players for a few weeks. Obviously, they don't really have their proper team in at the moment, so avoid them. Yeah, so some other ones. Braden Cook, he did all right. He got 84. He's got his bit more expensive, $386,000, so a little bit more expensive. Gibcus did all right for Tigers. He won't have a buy as well too. So some of these have buys coming up still, but some of these don't. So keep an eye. This other one, he was out of nowhere. Nick Watson, the Wizard. He's got a terrible fixture coming up. So Sydney, Geelong, Bulldogs, and then Port, Gold Coast. That's gonna be a hard fixture. But who did he play? He played Judaress and Essendon so far, and he's got 72 and 111. But obviously they don't play Essendon every week. That's quite a low break even, and he's got a bye next week anyway, so I probably don't go there. But that's maybe one for draft if you want. Dersma got break even of 10. He got about 60 odd, not too bad. Looking at, hopefully you can see the players in this year. Yeah, you can see that sweet. There's a few interesting ones. Yeah, this one's a standout one I'm looking at. He's had a last few years, obviously, he doesn't really average as much as he did on the weekend, but watching the game though, like he was taking tackles, he was marking, he was kicking, he was in all the spots. And I was just like, damn it, I should have just went cheaper because look, LDU's are $200,000 more. I should have saved some money up my sleeve. Oh well, that's always the way with fantasy. Like you're gonna win some, lose some, especially first round. You like for me, I had Jakes on the bench. I couldn't get his score, so there's always going to be that roulette as well too. You're gonna have one rookie score higher than the other, and vice versa. But generally, all the rookies scored pretty well this week. My lowest on-field score was Sarong on 59, so I can't complain. And plus, it was only pretty cheap as well, and he made a lot of cash as well too. He's gone up, went up $57,000, so that's not bad. If I'm Sarong. Comden did all right. I don't know. I probably would not go in at all because he's more of a key position player. But I don't know how he got 94 points. That's a lot. Then you've got who else? Who's another decent one? It's a few low break evens. But you can also have a look at some of the midfielders as well too, because obviously Goulden will be out. So you probably have a look, restructure your team. So for example, if you're light on defenders, maybe you can trade Goulden to a defender via Rosie. If you're light in the forward line, maybe you can bring one of these forwards up and then do that, or you can fix up your midfield as well too. But as I say, I wouldn't want to wait for Goulden for the week after, because you're going to get stuck. So I would most likely trade him this week. It'll be a bit more easier on you. You'll sleep a bit better, because you won't have to worry about trading your buy players out, plus trading injuries out next week. And you'll have more chance of getting scores as well too. That's why my trades this week, I'm so tempted to trade McKerney. I know he hasn't done anything wrong. He's got a full midfield with him. He's got no Heaney, and he's got no Heaney and Goulden, so he's going to get midfield time. But it's so frustrating. Like, it's annoying, because like he's got to buy next week. But and I can't. Sarong's still got low break even. Petraka, I don't want to trade Petraka out. He's got a break in at 72, so he's still making cash. I got English. I'm not going to trade him out. That's just silly. So I'm going to have Petraka. So what you can do, plan your week ahead as well too. So this is round 2. So this week I'm all right. I've got Houston, Bruin, and Smith. But next week, for my next round, I'll have Sarong 1, Bulldogs Drags 2. So I can't trade him out. He's still making cash 2. Then I've got depending if I fix up McRae or not, and if he gets the game. So 1, 2. Then I will have Bulldogs 3. Then I'll have Sydney 4, Bulldogs 5 here, and Petraka 6. So it looks like out of all of them, the one that probably may not make more cash, well, probably this week will probably make cash, but apart from that, breaking 64, if you look at his stats coming up, he's got a projected break even 20. He's going to go up 20,000, but then look at this, he's going to go up 2,000 and projected to go down after that. So and plus apart from the Eagles, he's got a tough run. He's got Hawthorn, Eagles, so Eagles is nice, but then he's got Gold Coast, GWS, Bulldogs, Melbourne. Then he goes back to North, Collingwood, Geelong, Richmond. So he's got round 9 North, and Richmond 12, and St Kilda 13. That's not too bad, but yeah, and then the last buy round is a lot more easier, because it's got GWS and St Kilda. At the moment, I got 1 St Kilda, 1 GWS 2. Then I've got 3 here, Carroll 4, 3 I should say 3. Then I've got GWS 4, Gothard, and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, sorry, I've got Gold Coast here as well too. So I've got, hang on, Lombard. So I've got, let me count this for next weekend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I need to trade McKerney out. Yep, bugger. And then so annoying, because the forwards aren't good this year. However, the rookies here are doing all right, so maybe I could play one of these rookies on the field for McKerney. That way I can get Stevens, jump on his price rise real quick, and then by the time Stevens is ready to max out, I'll be able to downgrade him to a primo, for example. See, I'm doing these trades on the fly here, so I'm thinking of them on the fly. So that's why I'm a bit. And then the GWS and Gold Coast, GWS and St Kilda. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna most likely trade Fonte and Carroll most likely before the buy, maybe, depends. To maybe like a defender that's coming off their buy as well too. So gonna be interesting. I don't want to trade McKerney out, but it will help me in the long run, just because I did go Lombard, and that makes it 7 otherwise on the buy next week, and that's going to be a lot, because if you take 7 away from 30, that's 23 players. So the best 23, that's before trades. So you want to try and at least maximize points as well too. I know that's silly suggestion, but if you have McKerney, I would rather keep him as well too. The Yeah, and then I'll probably most likely have to fix up McRae too. If I fix up McRae, then I could possibly keep McKerney, depending on which one I do. Blackiston, probably if you want to keep him one more round, he's got Adelaide. But apart from that, after that, I'd look at trading him out as well too. He's got North Melbourne, Bulldogs, Melbourne, and Gold Coast, Collingwood. So it goes Zeri, English, Gawn, Witts, and Cameron. A pretty tough run there for him. If you the only upside for him is he's got no bye. I think that's the reason why I got him in the first place. But yeah, apart from that, no, that's the only thing that's saving him at the moment. Because obviously there's a few buys in the back line here. I got Houston. I jumped on Houston. I wasn't supposed to have him, but I got him because he had a low break even from opening round. So he was a last minute thing. I traded Tom McCarthy down to Houston. So that's why I don't have McCarthy anymore. Hopefully that's now let's just check some questions if we got any questions here. Let's have a look. What do you think of Thomas is talking about his team? It's a bit hard to put the screen on him. It's hard to put his screen on his team. I'll have to have a look after this because I don't. It's on my computer and I'm on my laptop, so I have to have a look after. I haven't got that set up. He just sent that to me. First trade he did was Gordon to Merritt, and second was Pooh to Rochelle. Feels like a sideways as, and you think I'm fielding the right rookies. Off to a shocking start at 2017. All right, so he looks like he scored 2017. He looks like he went from Gordon to Merritt, and second trade was Philippou to Rochelle. So that's good. It's fix-up trade because Philippou was injured, so that's good to Rochelle. Gordon to Merritt, that's good as well too because, as I say, every midfielder that has a bye will have a bye coming up because obviously this is the first week of the early buys. So those that don't have a bye, like Sarong and Merritt, they're like two good mids to get. You'll get like 100, well, should get between 90 to 110 at least from them over a zero. So that's actually pretty good trade. So that's actually pretty good. Let's have a look. And three, it's always hard to nail all your rookies. I didn't nail my rookies this week either. I had Buderick on the, not Buderick, I had Jakes on the bench for 112. So as you can see, like not everyone's going to get their right rookie. But if you can, always make sure you emergency someone that's playing first. So like example on the Thursday or the Friday, put emergency on them, see what they score, and then you can maybe loot them on as well too. So for example, I looped Grilich on for 90. Probably would have been nice if I had him on the field, but I just wanted to make sure on a Thursday night, I didn't want to have a bad score straight up. So I was confident with Smith to score well, but I wasn't sure how groups goes. But some people don't even have groups, so it's going to be interesting to see. But a few people have him, and he's got Gold Coast this week, so that should be all right. I want to try and get groups up onto the field at least. Maybe if I keep McRae, I could just put groups on the field for him. That could work. Watkins wasn't really a fan of. He didn't do too much. And then Jakes I can put on the field as well. Sarong plays first on the Thursday. So what I can do, I can put him here, put Sarong as an emergency. If Sarong scores rubbish, I just put Blackiston on the field instead of Houston. But if Sarong scores well, I can put Houston on the field and then put someone else on the bench. I can loot that way. Also, I can loot my captain a lot more easier this week because there's going to be a donuts either way. How do I get rid of this? Oh, yeah, like that. And if your captain, I say, scores, like say, but between probably because it's so early in the season and plus there's teams on the bye, you probably want about 110 or more. Most people like to do 120 when it's later in the season, but because it's so early in the season, I usually like to keep 110. So that's why I would have kept Merritt's 112 actually. But somehow I ran out of time to do his vice captain, so I ended up putting it on English. So I was just getting out of hospital at the time, and it was pretty stressful. And that's why that's why all my players are out of price order as well too. So normally I like to do price order. So I do apologize about that. But it wasn't ideal to be in the hospital to set up ready for the fantasy. Somehow I managed to get my way out of most of it, all the carnage. No Gordon, no Marshall, no injuries, so that's a good start. I just had one donut, which was McRae, but he should get game time this week. So good this year, I should say. If you have any questions, make sure you join our league as well too. So our league is at capital A, number 4, number 9, capital F, capital C, capital V, capital S, and capital B. That's our leagues as well too. To win Krispy Kremes, we've got over 388 people in there, so that's gonna be pretty good as well too. So good to see. We've also had, as I say, good questions that come throughout the show and throughout the podcast, I should say. It's good to see. Make sure you comment any more questions that you may have as well before the round 2 starts. It's annoying, as I say, the round 2 is going to start when I'm at work. But as I say, I missed a whole week of work last week from the hospital, so it'll be good to be back at work this week because you kind of get a bit bored when you're at home and not doing anything, or you get bored when you're in the hospital and can't do much. So work's good fun. I work at a few interesting, fun outdoor stuff, which is good. So can't complain, which is good. I'll be back umpiring again in a couple of weeks' time as well too. So that'll be good fun. As you can see, I still got that bruise. Look at that. Look at that. It's pretty bad still. So my arm's still stuffed up from the drip, but I'm getting there. That's the main thing. For our Brisbane Lions supporters, our main area where we always like to watch our games is at the North Bridge in the Shoe Bar as well too. However, obviously no Brisbane Lions games this weekend, so we can relax. We can focus on our fantasy for a change. Don't have to worry about losing or don't have to worry about doing anything. That'll give our injured players a bit of an extra week off, which will be good. Now, let's see. Any last minute things? I'm going to look at probably getting Blamoyes or Murdoch hopefully back in, and then most likely maybe looking at maybe trading McKerney, but depending on teams, what will happen, I might have to keep him another week. Depends. It's just so annoying how there's going to be so many out next week, so I'm going to fix that up. Mainly English out will hurt. Petrarca out, because you don't want to trade those, and you don't want to trade English on Petrarca out, so yeah, I probably should have went Jackson anyway, but you'll win some, lose some anyway. But I've seen some teams in the top 10, they got like about 9 out this week. I've only got 3 players out this week, so I could bite the bullet and trade early this week for my buy players next week, and then that way I won't get stuck. So in a way, if you got a good fixture this week, if you got a lot of players this week, maybe look at your buy players coming up next week and the week after. Maybe look at trading them a bit earlier, a week earlier if you need to, or like maybe the players that went well from round 1 that don't have a buy, like Stevens, you could probably do that as well too. So little thing out there. Teams come out Thursday. I'll be at work Thursday, so I probably won't be able to share any teams out, but they'll be coming out Thursday. Then obviously the daylight savings, WA don't have daylight savings, but over East they still got daylight savings for another couple of weeks, which is going to be annoying. But that means the games start 4:30 instead of 5:30. But make sure you keep an eye out for teams. Keep an eye out for any trade news, or not trade news, any injury reports as well too. The injury, and that should come out today. Also, make sure you are trading out Gooden. Don't wait to trade him out. If you wait to trade him out, you'll get stuck as well too. So good luck with your teams. Hopefully you get another good score. As I say, I was pretty happy with my score. I'll show it one more time because it was pretty good. There you go, 2-1-86. I was pretty happy with that. Can't complain. Last year I had a shocking start. I had 2 injuries straight away in the first round, and then I had injuries after that every week, and it was stuffed me right up. I was terrible last year. BBL Super Coach a lot more better, but now that I haven't got any injuries, I can start off fresh. And those that have got injuries, make sure you fix up your injuries first. Always the way my rules about trading, look at how long the injury is going for. Make sure you trade out the longest injury player. Then you can look at any buys or any fixturing strategy. Then you can look at who's out of form, who's got a high break even, who's got a low break even, aim to get the ones on the bubble as well too. So hopefully, in a way, if you want to jump up the rankings, maybe you want to go to a pod as well, like a unique player as well. So I got a couple on each line. I got Merritt, Fonte, and McKerney was a pod, but now people jumped on him, so maybe I have to jump off him again. But as I say, LDU is pretty unique as well. Try and look at some of the unique players that may go well as well. That will help jump up the rankings because Gordon was owned by about 55%. So you don't want to. Let's have a look. Let's have a look actually while I'm here. Let's have a look at Gordon. Gordon. What's ownership? See, ownership 54%, pretty much 55%. Ownership 29%. So it looks like, look at that, 16 people trading him in. What's silly? All right, that's crazy. 30,000 people trading him out so far. I don't know why they would trade him in for. Maybe they're trying to win the spoon or something like that. But yeah, anyway, why did they trade him in for? All right, doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so 54% own him. So as I say, you could definitely go somewhere unique this week as well. All right. Yeah, hopefully Lions can bounce back next week. Oh, we got the weekend off, I should say. After that, we got St Kilda down at Marvel. We barely play St Kilda at the Gabba. Interesting. Anyway, good luck with your captains as well. Good luck with your scores. You would see the stand-up players I went through as well too. Yeah, Tim will be back next week. Hopefully, he'll be back a bit more fresher as well too. Give us a follow, jump on the league as well, Dream Team Asylum. Make sure you check out Roaring Lion, check out the Brisbane Lions WA supporters group as well too. Quite a few different, also pretty awesome crew there as well. Awesome. Keep up the good work, guys. Good luck. And good luck with your scores. Go Lions. Well, week off, so I'll say go Lions anyway. Go Lions. This was our training top that the players got me anyway last year, so it was quite nice of them as well too. So shout out to the Brisbane Lions over in Queensland there that gave me that. They gave me a pucker hat as well too, and 3 of these training shirts from the players. So that was quite nice of them as well too. So shout out to them as well. Good luck, guys. Go Lions. Good luck with your team as well too. Yeah, good work.